66 million years ago, something fell out of the sky. It hit the Earth harder than anything in human history. Everything changed in an instant. 90% of all species on the planet died. The dinosaurs, the rulers of the world for over 100 million years, vanished. But you're still here. Or at least your ancestors were. And so were theirs. Right now, somewhere on this planet, an animal is basking on a riverbank that looked almost exactly the same before that asteroid hit. It watched the dinosaurs die. And it just kept going. Most people assume the biggest, toughest animals survive disasters. That's not quite right. The dinosaurs were bigger, stronger, faster. They ruled everything, and they still died. This is the story of an animal that broke the rules of extinction. Scientists call it one of the greatest survival stories in the history of life on Earth. And by the end, you'll understand something strange. The reason crocodiles survived isn't really about crocodiles at all. It's about a rule that still decides who makes it through disaster today, including you. Stay till the end. The last part will change how you think about surviving anything. So let's go back. 66 million years ago. Picture the scene. The sky turns white, then black. A rock the size of a mountain slams into what is now Mexico. The impact is so violent it sets fire to forests on the other side of the planet. Tsunamis taller than buildings rip across oceans. Dust blocks the sun for months, maybe years. Plants stop growing. Then the animals that eat plants start dying. Then the animals that eat those animals start dying too. It's a chain reaction of starvation. Scientists have found the proof buried in rock layers all over the world. A thin band of a rare metal called iridium, the kind that comes from space. It sits right at the exact moment everything changed. So what actually decided who lived and who died? Here's what's fascinating. It wasn't strength, it wasn't speed, it wasn't size. Paleontologists at the University of Utah and the University of Central Oklahoma spent years digging through museum collections in 7 countries across 4 continents to answer this. They studied the skulls of 99 extinct crocodile relatives and 20 living species. And what they found flips the whole story on its head. Imagine you're one of these ancient creatures, hundreds of millions of years before that asteroid ever hit. This is the Triassic period. You are not the crocodile you're picturing right now. Your family tree, called the crocodilomorphs, is full of bizarre shapes. Some of your relatives are sleek, fast land runners built like greyhounds. Some are armored plant eaters the size of a car. Some even swim through open ocean like dolphins. This group has tried on almost every possible way of living. But then, around 201 million years ago, a mass extinction hits, wiping out most of your relatives. And it might be the strangest part of all. The ones that go extinct are usually the specialists, the ones built to do exactly one thing perfectly. When their one thing stops working, they have nowhere to go. But here's what's fascinating. After that first extinction, the survivors explode into new forms all over again. Researcher Keegan Melstrom, who led the study, put it simply. After that, he said, it goes bananas. Aquatic hunters, land generalists, fierce land predators, even plant eaters. Crocodile ancestors try on nearly every ecological role you can imagine, all while living alongside the dinosaurs for over 100 million years. So what killed most of them the second time? Something strange starts happening late in the age of the dinosaurs. Long before the asteroid ever hits, crocodile diversity is already quietly shrinking. The weird, specialized branches start disappearing one by one. And by the time that space rock slams into Earth, almost the only ones left standing are the generalists, the ones that could eat almost anything, the ones that could live in more than one kind of place. Now imagine you're an animal on that day, the day the sky turns to fire. If you only eat one kind of leaf that only grows in one kind of forest and that forest burns, you starve. If you only hunt one kind of prey and that prey disappears, you starve. But if you can eat fish, insects, small mammals, dead animals floating in a river, basically anything that moves or rots, you have options. That flexibility is the whole story. Melstrom's team believes this ability to eat almost anything is exactly what let a handful of crocodile lineages slip through a door that slammed shut on almost everyone else. But that's only half the story. There's a second trick hiding in plain sight. Water. Here's what most people never think about. When that asteroid hit, the worst destruction happened on the surface, in the open air, exposed to fire and freezing dark. But rivers, swamps, and lake bottoms became something else entirely. A shelter. Mud and water hold onto heat and stored energy far longer than dry land does. An animal that could slip beneath the surface and wait was hiding from the worst of it while the world above burned and froze. And crocodiles had one more secret weapon most animals didn't. They barely need to eat. A crocodile's body runs cold-blooded, which means it burns a tiny fraction of the energy a warm-blooded animal needs just to survive the day. Some crocodiles today can go over a year without a single meal. Now, picture what that means in a world where food has basically vanished. While warm-blooded giants were burning through their fat reserves in weeks, a crocodile could simply sink into the mud, slow its body down, and wait out a catastrophe that lasted months. So think about what that actually means. The animal that didn't need to be the strongest, the fastest, or the biggest won. The animal that needed the least survived the most. Compare that to how we think about survival today. We're taught that winning means being the best at one thing, the fastest runner, the top of the class, the most specialized expert in the room. But that's not what saved the crocodiles. What saved them was needing less and being able to do more than one thing. And it might be the strangest part of the entire story. The crocodile basking on a riverbank today looks almost exactly like its ancestors did tens of millions of years ago. Not because it stopped evolving, but because it found a body plan so efficient and so flexible that changing it would have made things worse, not better. Scientists who study crocodile evolution found something remarkable. Their body size and shape barely shifted for tens of millions of years. Not because crocodiles are simple, because they were already close to perfect for surviving almost anything. Now, zoom out. 5 mass extinctions have swept across this planet in 4.5 billion years, and some scientists believe we may be entering a 6th one right now, driven by us. Every single time disaster hit before, it wasn't the biggest, the fiercest, or the most dominant species that made it through. It was the ones that needed the least, the ones that could live in more than one way, the ones that didn't put all their survival into a single skill or a single place. The dinosaurs ruled the world for over 100 million years, and in one afternoon that rule counted for nothing. Meanwhile, a quiet, unglamorous animal that most people never think twice about just kept doing what it had always done. Adapt, use less, stay flexible. It didn't need to be the king of the world, it just needed to be the last one standing. So the next time you see a crocodile floating motionless in the water, doing what looks like absolutely nothing, remember what you just learned. That stillness isn't weakness. It's a survival strategy older than almost anything alive on this planet. The dinosaurs had all the power in the world, and it wasn't enough. The crocodile had almost nothing, and it was exactly enough. We like to believe that being the biggest, the strongest, the most impressive is what keeps us safe. The crocodiles are still here to tell you that's not always true.